Hey everyone, I'm Trevor and you're watching SoCal Disney Dad. Today we are at the San Diego Zoo Safari Park and we haven't been here in a little over a month. We're so excited to see what's different. Let's get going. So we're getting in here at about 9:45. It's a little later than we normally get here at the Safari Park, but we had some delays this morning. I was worried there was going to be a line, and the parking lot was a lot more full than it normally is when we get here straight at 9 o'clock. But at the same time, there was no line. We walked straight in. It is Saturday, May the 22nd, just in case you're wondering, so that you can gauge different things like that. But yeah, if this is your first time checking out my channel, I post daily videos of Southern California theme parks and attractions like the San Diego Zoo, Safari Park, SeaWorld San Diego, and Legoland. We'll also make trips up to Anaheim a couple of times for Disneyland and things like that. So go ahead and hit that like and a subscribe button if you want to see more videos like this one. I really would appreciate it. We are headed to Disneyland on June 4th for the opening of Avengers Campus, and I would love to live stream that for you. And in order to do that from my mobile device, I need to have 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. We are over 900 at this point, just under 100 to go, and would greatly appreciate, we have 2 weeks until then, 2 weeks to get 100 subscribers. And if you can hit that subscribe button, I would greatly appreciate it so very, very much. If you have any questions about the zoo, the safari park, or really anything in Southern California, feel free to drop them in the comments of this video. I respond as soon as I see the comments, and I respond to every single question. I will do my very best to help you with your planning or just anything related to Southern California. Thanks for watching, and let's get on with our day. As we were walking into the main park entrance here, I noticed that the Wings of the World was open again. The last time we were here, this was closed, and so I just had to go through it. Now, Wings of the World actually spits you back out at the park entrance, but that's okay. We want to do it this morning, so that's what we're going to do. I will freely admit that I have never been in here before, because if you've watched my channel for any length of time, you know that I'm not a big fan of aviaries, and that's because birds like that little guy up there stand right above your head, and check out that rock. Look at all that nasty poo going down the side of that rock. That right there is why I do not do aviaries. Speaking of things that are different this trip than our last trip, when we came in, there was no COVID screening. Now, they don't ever do temp checks here at the San Diego Zoo or the Safari Park, but they had a questionnaire that you would answer questions whether or not you have been associated with anyone who's had COVID, and that section was completely gone today. In fact, they're expecting higher crowds because they had not the normal 2, but 4 parking booths open for you to come and get your tickets and things scanned. So that's something new on this trip. This is actually a really, really nice looking aviary. I can't say anything bad about that there. I'm just not a big fan of birds, but I do have a hat on, so that helps, right? I'll be protected from at least getting poo in the hair, but I am definitely not a big fan of birds. But that was neat. It's a very nice looking area. Check this out. There's something new here in the safari park. They used to have meerkats here. No, what are these?
Look it! There's one right here.
Oh, he's right there by you. Timon.
I will say the safari park is already significantly more crowded than the last time that we were here, whether that's because we're getting closer to the summer season or whether that's because I arrived an hour late. I'm not quite sure, but it does feel busier. The areas feel more crowded and I'm moving a lot more slowly than I normally am. So factor that in when you are planning out your day. The first thing that we're doing this morning is going into the Gorillas. The Gorillas is one of the areas that tends to get more crowded here at the safari park, so I want to hit this first. The other area that gets really, really crowded first thing in the morning is the Australian area, where you would have the platypus. So either one of those 2 places would be my strong recommendation. And here's their home. but I don't see any gorillas right here. Sometimes we can see them right down here, and there's usually many. But since I don't see any, and I see people congregating up ahead, I do see a gorilla. There's just one. There's usually a lot. Why do I only see one? There he is. That's probably the only look we're gonna get at the Silverback Gorillas today. Oh, there he's turning this way. Good. But I doubt he's gonna come any closer. He's very pensive. Down this path is the Mawazo Woods Discovery Area. Now this is a newly remodeled kids play area, but unfortunately it is still closed. Let's look at that kids play area. It does look pretty fun. I see some stairs, I see some nets and ropes and all sorts of like a balance beam, lots of fun things going on down there. Sign telling us that the lemur is down this direction. I'll be curious to see if the lemur is open today. One of these days soon, the lemur walk will reopen. Nope, there's the rope right there. Cannot get into the lemur walk today. I do see the lemur in there walking around though. Let's see if I can get close enough to film him. He's chowing down on some breakfast. Yeah, he's got a snack too, just like you, James. Oh, and here's one of his friends is coming. Oh, he's got a snack up there too. Well, we're coming down to this overlook area. It is high up, as you can tell. And because of that, you have to go down the elevator if you have a stroller, and the line for the elevators is really long. It looks like they're only running one elevator at the moment, based upon the fact that they have a sign in front of the other one. It says closed. Of course, my favorite reason for even being up here on the top of this outlook is for this just gorgeous view that we're gonna see. Of course, there's tons of people up here also enjoying that view. Cannot beat this view of the safari park. Yep, here we are. Good job, Benji. Now that we're down out of the elevator, you can go left or right. The left is going to push you down towards the lion camp, but we want to go to African Outpost and African Loop for our tour here. You can get to the African Loop by going the other direction as well. You'll just end up at the other side of it. And that's the side that we actually want to end at because it is 10:30. And hopefully we'll be able to get some lunch by the time we reach the end of the loop because we're going to go to Okavango Outpost. Let's see what animal we are coming up on first. It is the Bontebok. Bonteboks are up there. And let's go ahead and zoom on in as far as we can for you. We can get a good view of him. This here is the eastern giant eland. He is the largest antelope, and he's called giant for a reason. He weighs up to 2,200 pounds, and females can be 1,400 pounds. Giant eland normally roam around sparse forests and open savannas in herds of up to 25 individuals. The Egyptian vulture, the hooded vulture, and the common shelduck are in here. That looks like the hooded vulture. There's actually a lot of them. Wow. How did I miss them the first time? There's even one off screen. It's 5 vultures right over here. It's a lot of vultures. Oh, well, we got this guy back here giving us a display. Can't really see him very well though. Oh, there we go. Perfect. Lovely. That guy's climbing the fence to get some food. I think he's standing on the lawn. No, he's not. I can see his feet on the ground there, but he is standing real tall. And check out this guy right here. I don't want to forget him. I am not quite sure what this bird is. He's got like a hornbill though. Oh, and there's another little animal. Check that guy out. He's really cute. He's having a drink. Let's see if we can get closer. As we got closer, he decided he wanted to leave. Got some cranes up there in the background. Looks like the demoiselle cranes. And these are the southern Garinuke, those deer-looking creatures that we saw, the southern Garinuke. He's standing all there regal for us. Look at him. Before I move on from this area, I did want you to see what that bird was. He's the Abyssinian ground hornbill. An adult male can inflate the red pouch at its throat. An adult female has a blue throat skin. So that's how you tell the two apart. And over here on the other side, we have the Okapi. The Okapi is also eating. Everybody's eating this morning, and that is great because it means that we get to see them nice and close, because the food is often positioned in places that allow you to get a good view of them. Sometimes this Okapi can be difficult to see if he is further back in his exhibit. But he's hanging out in one of these little grass hut houses and having a morning snack. So the trail that we're walking down currently is just between the two exhibits. And since we've already looked at all the animals to the left, we've already looked at the animals to the right, there's nothing to do on this path. And that's what I was talking about earlier in terms of this area being kind of sparse once you get down to here. There's not a crazy amount of animals to see, except for the animals that are my children. They do have some birds in here. I think there's a crane in here and some ducks and things. Oh, and this guy's at a pelican. Now, if the previous area was pretty sparse on the animals to look at, this area is even more so, because there are no animals in here. But I do see a bird straight ahead, if you want to look at birds. This is a secretary bird. That's him right there. Apparently he's really good at eating snakes, I've learned. Doesn't he kind of look like Buckbeak? I think he looks like Beaky. And check out this big bird. But that's not even the biggest bird in here. Check this guy out. He's even bigger, or he's just because he's closer, he seems bigger. That guy was the Cory bustard. Of course, there's the secretary bird. And the other big bird in there was the European white stork. The secretary bird laid down. He's like he's flying on the ground, soaring through the dirt. The African Loop is a great place just to come on a walk. I love coming down this way. It's got beautiful views. It's on the water, which we'll see in a bit. And there's animals to look at. Supposedly somewhere in here is the common warthog. In fact, I do see him. He's over here. He might walk this direction. But while he's behind the bush where we can't really see him, just show you his exhibit very shortly. And then we'll swing back around and see if he's coming this direction. Doesn't look like it. I think he's got something over there that he's captured his attention, but he's back behind those trees. Beautiful view of the safari park right here with those palm trees, the clear blue skies, the water, the rope bridge, the little island. Oh, this is picturesque right here. Absolutely gorgeous. Oh, we can see that hot air balloon up in the air. It's going right now. Over on that island, it's just a bunch of birds. He's got a big bill, doesn't he? He smells like kind of like a toucan of some sort. I don't think he is, because he's dark colored. We've got toucans a little bit further on in the safari park when we get there. That's the southern ground hornbill. That's what he is, the southern ground hornbill. Right up here off to our right is like a little rest area. When it's running, they've got this water play spot right here. The water is not currently hooked up, hasn't been useful for quite some time, but they do have this wet zone right over there. The water will come off the roof, and then they have some Coke machines over there. You can get some drinks. There are multiple locations for flamingos here at the San Diego Zoo Safari Park. The first is right in the entrance as you're coming in to the main food hub area, but the other is down here on the Africa Loop. Lots of them just hanging out.
1, 2, 3, 4.
You counting all the flamingos? Let's count them, buddy. 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 67, 78, 79, 80, buddy. 80. There are 80 in there.
80 flamingos.
80 flamingos.
In North America, I think SeaWorld's
Zoo.
Yes, I would agree. There are over 200 at SeaWorld San Diego, but I think they might mean between all of the flamingos. There is actually a third flamingo spot that is on the Africa Tram that you could see it from the Africa Tram. So there are technically 3 locations for flamingos here at the San Diego Zoo Safari Park. And the sign back there said that they handled the largest flock in North America, so that could be why. That is bird nasty. I just witnessed him do that. And that, my friends, is why I do not like aviaries. But I'm not even in an aviary, so it can happen anywhere. In fact, Benji got pooped on at the San Diego Zoo and we weren't in an aviary, so it happens.
Take a picture of
Oh, good job.
That cheetah was up nice and close for us at first. Now it's a little too far away, but that was the right time because sometimes they're just laying around, and I actually got to see him walking, so that was pretty neat. Well, now we definitely can't see him because he went down below that area, the ditch that they've got specifically hidden out of view, but it's meant to prevent the animals from being able to escape so that you can still have pretty close views, but they're not able to get out. That's where the cheetah went down in there. Now it's time to get some lunch here at Okavango Outpost. We'll see what they have. Whatever they have is what we're going to get because we want to review this place for you. They do have paninis and sandwiches here, turkey and Swiss panini, margarita panini vegetarian, Kilimanjaro Club sandwich, which is a rotisserie chicken with Swiss cheese, artisan salad, a wild Cobb salad. They do have chicken strips, gluten-free chicken strips combo, nachos and cheese. And then for snacks and desserts, they have different items. Here is a look at the Kilimanjaro Club. This is the chicken with the bacon and the Swiss cheese and the garlic aioli. It is a cold sandwich, so it's not warm at all. And it's already pre-made, and they just handed me this container. Well, then over here we have a side of nachos that I ordered. This was $7.99, so it wasn't like a side per se. It was an extra item that I had to order. But they also provide you these small containers of jalapenos, if you want to put the jalapenos on top of your nachos. And my mom ordered the gluten-free chicken strips combo. It came with these chicken strips. In there was this container of fruit as well. I see
and chips.
Yeah, I see 3 slices of a cantaloupe. It looks like a watermelon, some honeydew, and an orange. And then it came with these bag of Lay's potato chips as well.
You want some chips?
All inside that box. We just finished up here at Okavango Outpost, and check out this view behind me. Just isn't it amazing? I absolutely love Okavango Outpost and just anything really here at the safari park simply because of the views and the vistas from where you sit. Absolutely amazing. I love them. This one and Mawazo Kitchen. Mawazo Kitchen has really great views from there as well. I had that Kilimanjaro Club, and it said that it had a garlic aioli on it, but I didn't taste any sauces at all when I was eating that sandwich. It was very moist. There was tomato on there. The meat was good. The turkey, or no, the chicken. The chicken that was on there was good. No complaints whatsoever about the meat. I felt like I was missing that sauce, and maybe it was there and it just wasn't very strong. Usually I don't like sauce, and thick sauce especially, but it wasn't that bad. I didn't mind it at all. I would have probably liked it in this particular instance, but it was good. The nachos were just your standard nacho fare, nacho cheese. They could have been better, but I really enjoyed the club. I do feel like the options here at Okavango Outpost are a more healthier fare. The chicken is gluten-free chicken. They have paninis and salads, and the club that I got is like a cold sandwich. So instead of your typical theme park type food of burgers or the really unhealthy chicken, they have gluten-free and those sorts of options. So if you're looking for healthier fare, coming to Okavango Outpost is probably going to be one of the best options for consideration for you. I had a great time here, and I've never really had bad food here at the San Diego Zoo Safari Park, so you really can't go wrong with whatever you get. Someday soon, the Africa Tram will reopen. This is my favorite part of the San Diego Zoo Safari Park, and this Africa Tram really is one of the main draws for the safari park. If you didn't know, the Africa Tram is a 30-minute long ride that takes you around the African plains here at the San Diego Zoo Safari Park. They point out lots of different animals, and it really is like your own little safari, and I love going on it. It's free with admission, so anybody who comes in can go on the Africa Tram when it's open. This is the lower viewing area for the lions. I don't see any down here at the moment, where we're gonna keep working our way around. Oh, I see him. There he is. That big guy is taking a snooze. It's nap time, which is pretty typical for the lions. The ones at the zoo are always sleeping. We've felt like we've been fortunate enough the last couple of times we've been to the safari park to see them up and active. And you can check out those previous videos if you'd like.
But still, it looked like what it was. And only one big steakhouse had those. These guys enjoyed it. Crowds up. We know they've got it.
We're not going to walk over that way, but part of the lion camp, just so you are aware, is that balloon safari, which we see going up. You can pay $20 a person to go up in that hot air balloon. I do see the price from here. Can see that it's $20. Then they also have the lion camp slushie, which is right over there. You can get some snacks like hot dogs and chips and, of course, slushies. Looks like they're doing some sort of construction over here. They've got this leveled out and a pile of dirt. Might just be some repairs, because I see a pipe that's exposed over there. But they might also be planning to do something with this area. Up in the area straight ahead, we could hope to see some giraffes in the distance, and the rhinos are the primary attraction that I look for. Oh, I see a whole ton of them. Wow. There we go. I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 rhinos. That is the most amount of rhinos I have seen over here. And look, we can even see the Garinuke in the background there. We're getting a little closer to those Roar and Snore campground tents. You want to stay over at the San Diego Zoo Safari Park, you can pay to rent one of those tents, and you get to sleep here, go camping right here in the safari park. And the reason they call it Roar and Snore is because you're snoring, while the lion right on the other side of the mountain there, or the hill, is roaring. Because of how close you are to that lion, they say that you can hear a lion roaring for like up to a mile away. It'd probably be very quiet, because I've never heard the lion roaring like on the other side of the safari park, but I have heard him roaring right here next to the campground, and he is pretty loud. Now that might bug you if he's roaring while you're trying to sleep, but I don't think they're roaring at that time of night, but maybe they are. I've never stayed at the Roar and Snore campground. That also is something that I'd like to remedy one of these days here in the future. A little bit of congestion to get up here today. Pretty busy, but all the elephants are up here. So let's get up nice and close and go look at them. That elephant, you just witnessed him throwing dirt and dust onto his back, and what he is doing is it works as a natural sunscreen for him that protects him against the sun. So you'll see the elephants throw dirt on themselves, and that's what they're doing. The one up at the top left just did that as well. There's more elephants over here to our left. I see a grand total of 8 elephants at the moment. Sometimes in the past, we've seen ducks in this watering hole area down here. I've seen a whole bunch of baby ducks going swimming through it too. We're gonna walk down to this Overlook. This Overlook is another place for you to see the elephants, but only if they're in this lower exhibit. Since we know they're not down here, there's nothing to look at, but I at least want to show you the view from down here. As you can see, the elephants are still over there, but this is a great spot to see them if they do happen to be down here. There's another watering hole down here, and so they can go down in the water and play. Looks like the bat house is still closed. But this area is temporarily closed. Cannot go into the bat house. Another area that remains closed is the petting zoo. We have some sheep and some goats in there chowing down, but there are no people. This would normally be where kids and people could go in and pet all of those animals. But this area is still closed. Hopefully it'll open on June 15th. There's a bit of a line for Thorntree Terrace, which is the primary quick service area in the center of the zoo. There are just lots and lots of people here today. Pretty busy. It's currently almost 1 o'clock on a Saturday. We are currently walking up the narrow pathway that takes you to the Australian area, the Condor Ridge area, and the Tiger Trail area. We are not going to tour the entire area here today. We've already done that previously on our channel. You can check it out if you want to see the full tour of those areas. We're just going to go in here and check out the tigers and probably head right back on out. James really wanted to see the tigers today, so we're coming up here to do that. Here we are heading into the Tiger Trail. I always love this entrance. This right here is picturesque to me, going into the bamboo forest. I love it so much. I love a lot of things about the San Diego Zoo Safari Park, if that's a recurring theme here today. Our first look at one of those tigers is right there. Of course, he looks like we could get a better view of him over there, so let's go. There's another tiger there behind this glass. I have never seen a tiger up here before. The reflection is making it difficult for me. No trip to the safari park would be complete without the backside of water. There's just something relaxing about the sound of a waterfall. We're down here looking for the third tiger because James really wants to see him. And it's this area right off to my right. Frequently down around the corner here is the best place to see him. And I do see people congregating down this way, so I'm wondering if this is where he is. It's also possible that he's hidden away somewhere. This is the one that's usually a guaranteed to see, because right here along this fence, he tends to pace back and forth, but I don't currently see him. Never mind. Here comes that third tiger right now. They're all getting some water today. I've seen all of them taking a drink of water.
Hello, tiger. Hello, tiger. He's a little tiger. And he's a big. Eat us.
Well, we are currently working our way out of the safari park at this point. If you are still watching and you have yet to hit that subscribe button, I'd encourage you to do so. Let me remind you, our goal is 1,000 subscribers by June 4th. That way we can live stream the brand new opening of Adventures Campus at Disneyland. I'm planning on seeing all the sites, riding the ride, getting the food, going in the gift shops, and I want to show all of that to you guys. I'd love to do it live so that we can interact and we can chat and we can hang out together. And so if you want to do that, go ahead and hit that subscribe button so that you can help us reach that goal. Thank you very much. We couldn't do this without you. The whole reason why we're vlogging and sharing our adventures is because of you guys. And so be sure to drop a comment down and let us know how much you appreciate the videos, or ask any questions that we might be able to answer for you. Once again, thanks again for watching, and we're not going to quite sign out just yet because I'm going to show you what it looks like on the way out. That's a pretty normal thing I do here, so that you can see about 1 o'clock what it looks like to get into the park if you're the type of person that prefers to come in at that time. We are coming up on the entrance, and I do not see any line in there. Anybody who is coming into the park is able to walk straight up to a ticketing kiosk and is able to come right on in. There is no line. It is May 22nd, so a lot of schools may not be out yet. My oldest son's school is out, but my youngest is not. Now, because my oldest school doesn't have grades that go low enough for my youngest, that's why they're in different schools. But that might be the case for a lot of different people. Some schools could still be in session, so we have not yet hit the major summer break crowds, but I will be sure to keep you updated. We're going to aim to come in here again on June 19th. That is the Saturday after June 15th. If you've watched the video, you've heard me say that June 15th is the date for reopening of business as usual here in California, so I expect that Africa Tram to be running again. And I hope that it is. So we're coming in on June 15th for you to be able to share whether or not that Africa Tram is open, so that you can set your expectations when you're coming here on your vacations or your day trips or whatever it is that you may be hoping to do here at the San Diego Zoo Safari Park. One last look at the safari park before we say goodbye. No lines. And that is it for our time here at the San Diego Zoo Safari Park. Go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button. I know I sound like a broken record, but it really does help. And we will see you again next time.